My boss deleted my overtime to save money, so I turned his world upside down. The sound of the time clock is the most depressing noise in the world. It's a sharp, digital beep that signals the sale of another 10 hours of my life for $22 an hour. I stood there, my breath clouding in the freezing air of the loading dock, watching the red numbers flicker. 7:59 a.m. I waited. I needed it to be exact. At 8 a.m. on the dot, the shift started. But I had been here since 7:45 a.m., prepping the forklift, checking the manifest, doing the unpaid prep work that Greg, our floor manager, insisted was just part of being a professional. Professional. That was Greg's favorite word. He used it to justify everything from denied lunch breaks to mandatory overtime. The clock ticked over. 8 a.m. I punched my badge. Beep. But I didn't walk away. Not yet. I pulled my phone out of my pocket, shielding the screen from the overhead security camera with my body. I snapped a photo of the digital display, ID 4922. In January 29th. 8 a.m. I checked the photo. It was blurry. I took another one. Crisp. Clear. Undeniable. What are you doing, Miller? The voice came from the doorway of the office. Greg. He was leaning against the frame, holding a lukewarm coffee, wearing a polo shirt that was stretched too tight across his gut. He had that smirk on his face, the one that said he knew he owned us. Just checking my notifications, Greg, I lied, sliding the phone back into my pocket. My heart did a little double tap against my ribs. Not from fear, from hate. Less phone, more lifting. Greg took a sip of his coffee. We're behind on the Amazon shipment. I need you to stay late tonight. Again, overtime approved. I asked, keeping my face neutral. We'll see. Greg shrugged. Just get the job done. We're a team, right? We do what it takes. I walked toward the forklift. Sure, Greg. Whatever it takes. I climbed into the cage of the machine. The vinyl seat was cracked and freezing cold. I turned the key, and the propane engine rumbled to life beneath me. Whatever it takes, I whispered to myself. Greg didn't know about the folder on my phone. He didn't know about the spreadsheet on my laptop at home. And he certainly didn't know that today, Thursday, January 29th, was the day the trap finally snapped shut. To understand why I was documenting my life in 1-minute increments, you have to understand the paychecks. It started 3 months ago. I'm a creature of habit. I work 40 hours base. I usually pick up 5 hours of overtime. At time and a half, that's serious money for me. It's the difference between ramen noodles and actual ground beef. In October, my check was short. Not by a lot. Just, light. Maybe $50. I thought I miscalculated. I let it slide. In November, it happened again. I had worked a brutal 50-hour week during the Black Friday rush. My feet were bleeding by Friday. I expected a fat deposit. It came in looking like a standard 40-hour week. I went to Greg then. I walked into his office, hat in hand, respectful. Hey Greg, I said. I think payroll messed up. I worked 10 hours OT last week. The stub says 2. Greg didn't even look up from his computer. He was playing solitaire. I could see the reflection in his glasses. Systems automatic, Miller, he grunted. If you didn't punch correctly, the system rounds it. You probably forgot to punch out for lunch. I never forget, I said. I punched out at 12 and in at 12:30. Well, the system says you took an hour. Greg clicked the card. Look, I can't change the past. Just be more careful next time. We're on a tight budget this quarter. Corporate is watching every dime. But I worked the hours, I pressed. That's $300, Greg. He finally looked at me. His eyes were cold, dead things behind wire-rimmed spectacles. Are you accusing the company of theft, Miller? He asked softly. Because that sounds like insubordination. And with the holidays coming up, you don't want to be on the chopping block, do you? I swallowed the rage. It tasted like bile. No, Greg. Good. Get back to work. I walked out. But I didn't get back to work. I got back to planning. What I'm about to do next isn't just about getting my money back. It's about tearing down the fiefdom of a petty tyrant. By the time the sun sets, Greg isn't going to be worried about the budget. All it will take is a call that would turn this warehouse into a crime scene. Watch full video here.